Are you tired of going to YouTube or Google for answers to your home improvement questions? Maybe you have more projects than you have time. No matter where you are in the process, Pro 93 Home Solutions is ready to serve you. Pro 93 is a local, veteran-owned company offering residential and commercial remodeling, cleaning, and security. Contact us today at 458-4135 or online at pro93homesolutions.com. Let the pros at Pro 93 find the solution for your home or business. That's 458-4135. Welcome everybody to today's edition of Home Solutions. Happy Saturday to everybody out there. Dennis Purvis here with you as always in the Mix 1041 studios. Today folks, hope you're having a good one. Hope everybody's safe and looks like we got some light at the end of the tunnel here with everything that's been going on with COVID, and things are starting to open up and we can, no pun intended, breathe a little better. As always, Pro 93 Home Solutions, we would love to help you out with any of your home repair or remodeling needs. We are fully licensed, bonded, and insured. You can give us a call for everything from a leaky toilet to maybe you just want to remodel that kitchen. Maybe you want to put new siding. It's starting to get spring. Maybe you want to redo that deck out back or give you the deck you've never had. Maybe put a roof on there and cover it for you. Give us a call. We would love to help you out. 458-4135 or Pro 93 Home Solutions on the web. So today, folks, we just talked about spring there in my shameless plug. So it's time to talk about spring cleaning. The thing everybody loves about spring. It's time. The weather broke this week. Wasn't freezing at night, 70 degrees during the day. You could have a shorts and a t-shirt on again. The kids were on spring break for a lot of you. They were out playing, and it's time, folks. It's time to get rid of some of the pandemic hoarding that we've done. Maybe you've got barrels and barrels of toilet paper and pallets in storage. Whatever it is that you need to clean out, you need to start thinking about how am I going to get rid of some of this stuff. And have I got a treat today? I've got in studio with me right now Corey Hindman and Denny Frye from Daily Dumpsters. Say hi, everybody.
Hello.
Hello.
Wave to everybody on Facebook for everybody. And no matter how you're listening to today, whether you're tuning us in Mix 1041, 1013 The Buzz, maybe you're listening to the Mix 1041 app, or you're streaming online, or you're watching us on the face pages. We are so happy to be here. As you can tell, the three of us really dressed up. You can tell we're contractors because this is our church attire. But I got the trash guys here. I got experts in trash right here. Debris removal, how to get it out of there. What are you going to do? Maybe you rent a roll-off dumpster from my good friends here, Denny and Corey at Daily Dumpsters. Guys, we'll start with you, Corey. Tell a little bit about who you guys are and how you guys got together.
Yeah, for sure. So we are a local company here based out of Cleveland, Tennessee. Me and Denny become friends probably 10 years ago or so through a mutual friend of ours, my cousin, when he was in a former position. So we got started in the dumpster rental business. We decided to do this about March of last year.
Thereabout.
Somewhere around there. And so we've been doing it ever since. And thankful for the community that supported us up to this point, and look forward to what's ahead.
Now, one thing I got to ask another question about. You started this business in March of 2020, is that correct?
Right in the middle of the pandemic.
Boy, that was super fun, huh?
Yeah. Perfect timing.
Yeah. You were like, oh, did we make the right decision? So what's that been like for you guys?
Yeah, so, when we first started, the whole pandemic thing was really just getting started, but we had those storms that came through.
Yep.
A lot of families were affected, and we were trying to find ways we could help. And something that Denny had prior knowledge with his previous positions, and we decided to give it a go and found a niche that works for us with helping homeowners and contractors as yourself with the equipment that we use is a little different than some of the larger companies.
Denny, talk to us about that equipment. What's kind of set you guys apart from maybe some other folks in town?
A lot of it goes with weights of our containers, our trucks that we operate on. Does a lot less damage or less likely to do damage to your property. Different sizes fit in taller or tighter, smaller spaces than your larger roll-off dumpsters do. It's worked out so far so good.
And let me just, while we're talking about this, let me give you at Pro 93, full disclosure, we've used Daily Dumpster quite often. They are our go-to. I can tell you that we have before they came into being, so to speak, last year. We were kind of searching around for who we wanted to use and kind of get a relationship with. I'm a big believer in networking and finding a relationship and cultivating that relationship to have. Right now, Denny and Corey are my guys. When I need a dumpster, when we've got a job right now here in Cleveland. Little worried about we'll talk about this later, but I was a little worried about the space because of the layout of the lot. But they, again, found a way to do it. Wasn't an issue. You can't beat their service. If they can get to you that day, they will. And obviously they can't promise that all the time. But I can tell you, I've had the pricing's fantastic. The service is fantastic. And we can't say enough good things at Pro 93 about them. They're reliable. When they tell you they're going to be there, they're there. When they tell you they're going to pick it up, they're there. And we've had several occasions where they've picked it up and emptied it and brought it right back to us because we weren't done. And that's one thing I think it's important is that you guys have really, you really kind of have the opportunity being locally owned, not corporate owned, so to speak, not a franchise, you don't have a home office in some other city or state. It allows you guys to kind of do a kind of a case by case to really help people for what they need, right?
Absolutely.
What do you guys? So let's talk a little bit about your story. So where are you guys from? Denny, start us off. Are you a Cleveland guy? How long you been here? Tell us how you got here. I know you've got kind of an interesting career in this industry. Talk a little bit about what brought you to this point.
I'm born and raised in Cleveland. Been here for 45, going on 46 years now. Yes, I've had a lot of history of the waste industries. Worked for several local companies, good companies that allowed me to be where I am today. I've got 16 years in the waste industry now, a lot of that in management of companies. Just become a time under some other circumstances that arose that it was kind of pushed. I had to make some decisions, and this is when Corey and I decided that it's time to do this for ourselves and go out on a limb, and here we are.
It's simultaneously the most fun and most scared you'll ever be in your life, and being a business owner.
Yes.
There are days where I'm like, this is fantastic. And then there are days like, at my old job where I worked for somebody else, you could always complain about the boss. You could always talk about the stupid decisions they made up top. But when you're the owner, there's only one person to yell at. At least you guys got two guys that you can blame him, he can blame you. It'll be great.
And we do a lot of that.
Corey, tell us a little about yourself.
Yeah, so born in Cleveland, was raised here for most of my childhood. I moved away to Sevier County, though, in 2000. Was up there for right at 15 years until I moved back about 5 years ago.
Were you in the airbrush or cotton candy business in Sevier County?
No, go-karts. That was my jam. So, but like Denny, professionally, spent a lot of time in corporate America. Was with Verizon for 7 years almost, and also have a local business here where we do a lot with foreclosures. So That was the thing with getting dumpsters is I was having a hard time getting them when you needed them, and Denny was ready to make a change. So we were like, hey, let's just do this, and it worked out. So,
what have you guys? You've obviously the pandemic probably makes you question some things right after you start, but then the storms hit, and I'm assuming you guys were on blast from the go there from April on. What has been your guys' biggest challenge, I guess, in the last year?
I really don't know. There's been several, of course.
Getting dumpsters and keeping them.
Yeah.
Having available inventory has been, from time to time, the biggest challenge, I would say.
And it's one of those that it's, as a business owner, it's a good problem to have, but you want to be able to help.
Absolutely.
You want to be able to answer that call and be like, yes, we can be there in so many days. And it's scheduling and trying to be everywhere. we feel that a lot too. It's, there's only so much work you can get done. There's only many dumpsters that you've got available. When we're seeing folks, a lot of our listeners here are homeowners that are, they may be DIYers, which we strongly encourage you, Pro 93, by the way. Go ahead and tackle that DIY project just like you saw on TV. And when it doesn't work out, give us a call, 458-4135, and we'll come help you out. But if you're wanting to do a clean out and maybe you don't have a truck, you don't have access, you don't want to take stuff to the dump, you don't want to sit it all out at the curb and pray it gets picked up. As far as dealing with individual homeowners, what are some things people need to think about when they're thinking about a dumpster?
Mainly the area that you would like to set it in. Make sure that you have enough room to be able to get in and get out. Yes, we do operate on a trailer and pickup trucks to where we can make little tighter turns than a larger truck. Placement of and how long you're going to have it, what you're going to be putting in it, that helps us with the pricing of things.
We mentioned this earlier, and you just brought us back to it, talking about not just space, but the location you would like it on your lot. Like I referenced earlier, we were on a lot that had a pretty severe slope. The only really good place was a driveway, which wasn't going to do anybody any good because on one side of it was literally straight downhill.
It would have been good for snow skiing.
It would have been great. Yeah, I wonder how they get out of there when it does snow. What do people need to, just a ballpark for the different sizes, what kind of space do they need to have available?
15 to 20 feet, roughly,
Gotcha.
Front to back, and 10 to 12 feet on the side.
And you said earlier that these are safer. Is that as far as not tearing up someone's concrete or driveway?
Yeah, so with our setups, we're able to get in on concrete driveways and asphalt driveways with leaving a very minimum or no footprint that one was there. And also we have boards that go under the wheels and such to keep them from damaging the driveways or what have you. But it is a lot more or a lot less intrusive than the bigger trucks getting them in and out of your property.
Well, listen, folks. How can folks that are listening right now, maybe they're thinking about, I want to get it. How long do you rent your dumpsters? Is this something folks need to be ready right now? Are they your daily dumpster? Do you guys have weekly or longer rates that you'll work out with folks as well?
We do.
Yeah, we have some customers that have it at their place of business permanently, so they pull it once a week, and then we have people that just need it for a day, a lot of roofing contractors like yourself and such. So we work with everybody, depending on how long you need it, we can make it fit to your schedule.
There you go. And how do they get a hold of you guys?
So you can access us through Facebook. We have a Facebook page. You can give us a call locally, 599-9616. So 423-599-9616.
9616.
There we go. Thanks, Denny.
Let's say that one more time.
That's why we're partners. So 423-599-9616 or dailydumpster.net. Dailydumpster.net.
There you go, dailydumpster.net. Check them out online. Give them a buzz. Folks, when we come back, we're going to talk a little more about get into the weeds in the dumpster thing. We're going to talk about things you can put in there, things you cannot put in there, which is probably pretty important for you guys as well, and talk about some of the do's and don'ts. And stay tuned, folks. We got this week's edition of Mythbusters, Dumpster Edition, coming right after the break. You're listening to Home Solutions right here on Mix 104.1 and 101.3 The Buzz. Are you tired of going to YouTube or Google for answers to your home improvement questions? Maybe you have more projects than you have time. No matter where you are in the process, Pro 93 Home Solutions is ready to serve you. Pro 93 is a local, veteran-owned company offering residential and commercial remodeling, cleaning, and security. Contact us today at 458-4135 or online at pro93homesolutions.com. Let the pros at Pro 93 find the solution for your home or business. That's 458-4135. Welcome back, everybody. Hope you're having a great Saturday. Home Solutions right here on Mix 104.1 and 103 The Buzz. Dennis Purvis with you as always here in the Mix 104.1 studios. Hope you're having a good day. Maybe you're driving around today and you're getting ready to start because the weather broke and it's finally getting into the 70s, and you're thinking, I'm going to drive around to maybe one of the local hardware stores. I'm going to get a bunch of bags. I need to start cleaning out the garage. I've got not just a winter but a pandemic's worth of accumulated stuff. We need to have some spring cleaning. And you're thinking, well, that's great. What am I going to do with it after that? Well, folks, in studio with us today, Corey and Denny from Daily Dumpster. Boys, say hi to everybody one more time.
Hello.
There you go. They're working in tandem. They even do their phone number together. It's fantastic. But no, listen. We talked a little bit beforehand. You know, this is a locally owned company. You guys are both Cleveland guys. Both kind of took the corporate America route to realize it was time to work for yourselves, and give these guys credit. They started this business a year ago, right as COVID took off, so I'm sure they were super excited about what that meant for them. But they have, if you weren't with us in the first segment, we've used them at Pro 93 and could not be more pleased with having them as our partner for all our debris removal. And so let's talk a little bit for folks that want to get a dumpster. They're maybe thinking about it. Let's talk about some do's and don'ts. So we've talked about already space. You want to make sure you have 15 to 20 feet. Is that right?
That's correct.
15 or 20 feet where you can get in. It's accessible to get in and put the dumpster. Understands, folks, this is a big dumpster. So if you're in some neighborhoods, I do know this, make sure you may have to clear it with your HOA if you've got one, to let them know that you're going to have one there. Folks, it's crazy with all the subdivisions around Cleveland now. You know, they're building a few houses around here these days, if you haven't seen everybody driving around. But make sure you get things cleared with that. I can tell you we've encountered that on our end. But once you get that cleared, you're getting the dumpster. Guys, what are some of the things people need to – is it easier to talk about do's, or is it better to start with the don'ts?
Don'ts is probably easy.
Well, let's talk about. So give me some good. They've called you. You've given them a price. You've got them delivered. What are some things they don't want to do now that dumpster is sitting right there?
Don't overload it. That's the biggest thing. We really need it loaded below the lip of that dumpster, because we don't want to mess up the beautiful streets of Cleveland by blowing trash as we're going down the road.
Yeah.
So we tarp the loads, and it's kind of hard to keep things contained if they're sticking over the sides or above the top.
And they're really subtle with, there's plenty of things on the dumpster that says, please don't fill above here. They've got lines. So if you can't remember that, trust me, just look at the dumpster. It'll tell you. What are some things that you can't put in a dumpster? What are some things that you guys can't haul away?
Let me get it. Tires, or your landfills won't accept tires. Paints, really any liquid type substance. It has to go through, believe it or not, they call it a paint filter test before it can go into a landfill. That is typically exactly what it sounds. You take a paint filter, pour it in there. If it goes through the bottom, then it's not acceptable into a landfill. Ooh. So it's got to hold in that paint filter. So liquids, paints are the two biggest things that we run into probably would be the tires and the paints.
So I've heard that before, and I'm embarrassed to say, what do you do with that stuff? What do you do with tires and paints if you want to get rid of them?
Tires.
I'm assuming setting them on fire is not a good idea.
I wouldn't advise it. Would not advise it. Tires are a little bit harder. There are places that will accept your tires for probably fees of that.
Yeah.
That really don't have anything or anybody that we use for that. We just don't accept them.
Yeah.
Paints are a different animal. You can buy things at your local hardware store that you pour into a paint that will solidify it. Then you're able to get rid of it.
Yeah.
Another thing is a lot of people just use kitty litter.
Yeah.
Pour kitty litter in it, stir it up, let it soak up the paint, put your lid back on, then it's accessible again.
Now, are you guys able to take it if somebody's done that?
Yes.
Well, there you go. So, folks, not only we got lots, it's home solutions here, folks. For your home problems, we got home solutions. Nice tip there. So don't overfill. Watch what you put in there. When folks are trying to contemplate, I know this comes up when we had Matt Carlson on from Boundless Moving, and one of the things he always talked about is people have no idea what size truck they need. Because, you can say, I got a 29. That doesn't mean anything when you've got a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, right? You have no idea. So what are kind of the sizes that you guys offer? And then talk about how can people judge what would fit in one of those?
Yeah, so we have a 12, a 17, and a 25-yard dumpster. And so your 12-yard is going to be mostly for your spring cleanouts where you're throwing just, odds and ends stuff away. Not a lot of furniture, not a lot of big or bulky stuff. The 17-yard, if you're getting into furniture, a couch and then odds and ends stuff, that's usually where we like to steer you. And if you have a really big project where, you're throwing your spouse's stuff away or whatever, then a 25-yard is probably a little more your speed because you can get a lot more in it.
So I know one of the reasons a lot of people do a lot of cleanup and get these for them personal use at home is they're doing a lot of yard cleanup. How do you guys handle tree branches? We talked about overfilling. Do they really just need to go make sure that's all broken down so it's not sticking out, hanging over, doing all that?
They do. Some materials, like a tree branch, small bushes, things of that nature, once they're sticking up, the tarp goes over it, it mashes those things down.
Yeah.
If you've got a 2x4 sticking straight out the top of the dumpster, then, it's not really going to mash it down.
Yeah. Is it... we talked about location earlier, and I know we went through this. We had this conversation the other day. If you're in you're not in a subdivision where maybe you've got a little bigger plot of land or a driveway, so to speak. Maybe you're downtown Cleveland here, where houses are really tight. Not a lot of driveway space on some of those houses down in the historic district. But somebody wants to get a dumpster, they can't just say leave it out on the street, right?
No. There are liabilities to leaving them out there. They need to be placed somewhere on your property. If you have one of those areas that are in question, feel free to call us, and one of us can come by, take a look at it, meet with you there, see what we can work out, what the best alternatives to it are.
Well, how do they get a hold of you if they want to call you guys?
So try this again. So it's 423-599-9616.
There you
got
go.
it that time.
A lot of nines. It really is a lot of nines.
It is.
And you guys, how do they find you guys on the web?
So dailydumpster.net, and you can also find us on Facebook.
And it's Daily Dumpster, not Dumpsters, correct?
Yes, no
Correct.
S.
No S. Dailydumpster.net. They're on Facebook. If you're watching us on Facebook Live, you should see a tag because Austin's really great at his job. Shout out to Austin here at the station, where he's going to have them tagged right up there at the top. You can just click on that. It'll take you straight to their page. So how do you... I guess first question that I would have as far as talking about the business is, where do you guys, I know obviously contractors I'm sure are a big part of it. Have you seen like personal use for homeowners starting to increase as times went on here?
It does. It really is affected by weather.
Yeah.
Like you said in the beginning, of spring cleaning's coming, so that really helps out. And that's another thing. If you are looking to rent a dumpster, try to give us as big of a heads up that we can work with the inventory that we have to meet you, and it's helps us out on our end too.
Yeah. So what do you guys see when you guys are? And does it cost anything for you to? You talked about coming out to their site. Does it cost anything for you to come out and take a look at folks? Maybe look at what they're thinking about throwing away to see what kind of size dumpster they need.
No, not at all.
And what areas do you guys serve?
Pretty much Chattanooga, Northwest Georgia, up to Athens.
So
Sweetwater.
listen, if you're listening on Mix 1041 or 1013 The Buzz, chances are Daily Dumpster can reach you. The listening area here is kind of perfect in what he just said and where they reach. So my question to everybody out there is, why haven't you given them a call yet? And if it has, it's because you didn't know they were there. Now you do. I can tell you again, I want to repeat this. They are our partner at Pro 93. Don't have a reason to call anybody else for our debris removal. They make it, and listen, I'll be honest, we have a dump trailer. But dump trailers are, I can make 17 trips, or I could call Denny and Corey and not have I'm not tying up an employee. I'm not tying up, and this goes for anybody that's got a home. You know, trips to the dump aren't quick. They're not quick, and if it has just rained or is currently raining, good luck. Your car or truck is going to smell like the dump for the next week until you find it. It is not easy to get in and out of there sometimes. So just give them a shot. Give them a call. One more time, how do they get a hold of you guys?
423-599-9616 or dailydumpster.net.
I'd like to point out that Denny is totally just making Corey do it now, so he makes sure he knows the number.
I think he needs to practice.
So it's that time, everybody. We're about close to the bottom of the hour, and after this, stay tuned for the A to Z in Real Estate Show by Caldwell Banker. Is coming out in just a few minutes. But until then, it's time for Mythbusters Dumpster Edition. I have not shared with them these myths that I have scoured the interwebs. I've talked to all my sources, and I've got things. Today I'm gonna expose the dumpster rental business for what it is. It's a bunch of trash.
Bring it on.
Get it? It's a bunch of trash. You guys didn't laugh at that. Okay. All right. Myth number 1. Man, I'd like to get a dumpster, but you guys are talking about it's easy and you guys are here local, but renting dumpsters is just a hassle. What do you say? Is that busted or is that confirmed?
We like to bust it. We
There
like to
you
make
go.
it as easy as possible on you, and keep our prices affordable to where we don't break the bank and keep you from going in the smelly dump, as you say.
It's a really good answer. I don't have anything to say about that. My sources are not going to agree with you, but that's fine. Here we go. We talked about this earlier, but another myth is that anything can go inside a dumpster. I know you talked about tires and paint, but come on. If I put it on the bottom and I cover it up with stuff, how's anybody going to know, Denny?
We dump it out. We have to find it when it hits our feet or it hits the landfill, and they make us pick it up. So then we'll be kindly bringing it back to you.
So you guys, at that point, you guys are also a removal and a return service when it's paint and tires.
It costs just as much to bring it back to you as it does to take it off.
There you go, everybody. So you can try to sneak it in, try to cover it up. The dump's going to find it, everybody. And last one. You know, it doesn't really, I mean, those things, they're big metal containers. You can smash stuff down. Dumpster size doesn't really matter. You just get one, whatever you guys got available, get the cheapest one, and just smash it all down. It doesn't really matter, right?
Well, it's going to make it harder on you. But with that being said, our prices are affordable at every step of the way. So a little bit more money to get the next size up, you can get everything that you need instead of having to leave one or two things off to the side because it all don't fit in the cheapest one.
Denny?
And we don't blow it down the road.
We don't hit your neighbor's car.
Can I just tell you that apparently your guys' level of preparation I was not prepared for. You guys obviously know what you're talking about, and people that are listening need to call Daily Dumpster. One more time before we get out of here. One more time. Give them that phone number, Corey.
423-599-9616. And you can find us on the web at
dailydumpster.net.
Look at that, working together, teamwork. And folks, that's all we got time for today. Hope everybody's doing well. Listen, lights at the end of the tunnel. Check in on your neighbors. Take care of one another. Love one another. Do your part. Folks, until next week, thank you so much for listening. Thank you to Corey and Denny for being here, guys. I really appreciate you guys being here.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for your time.
Listen, give them a call. Until next week, you've been listening to Home Solutions right here on Mix 104.1 and 101.3 The Buzz. Are you tired of going to YouTube or Google for answers to your home improvement questions? Maybe you have more projects than you have time. No matter where you are in the process, Pro 93 Home Solutions is ready to serve you. Pro 93 is a local, veteran-owned company offering residential and commercial remodeling, cleaning, and security. Contact us today at 458-4135 or online at pro93homesolutions.com. Let the pros at Pro 93 find the solution for your home or business. That's 458-4135.